guys, rise and shine. It's a brand new week again, and I'm very happy to be here to lead you guys through a workout. So today I'm joined by Dawn, who will be taking the second half, and I'll be leading the first half first. My name is Betsy, I'm a full-time Pilates instructor, and today we are going to start out with some Pilates work. And I'm going to focus really on the posterior chain muscles. So when we talk about posterior chain, it's not the anterior, which is the front. So we have the anterior chain. We also have the posterior chain. Okay, why working the posterior chain muscles are important because sometimes when we're at home, and I think all of us are guilty of it, we tend to sit like in a slouch, okay? I tend to get really comfortable when I'm watching Netflix. So sometimes I forget that, okay, you know, the back muscles tend to lengthen out and they start to weaken. Okay, so very important, we need to work the back to help us keep a nice erect posture. Okay, so without delay, let's get started. So I'm going to get you guys to start easy first, lying down on the mat. So Pilates is easy, you always get to lie down first. Okay, so maintain a nice long spine, and I'm keeping my knees bent. Keep my heels slightly closer towards my glutes. Okay, so I'm not bringing it too close, just about comfortable distance. Okay, legs are hip distance width apart. Palms are pressing down on the floor, and you try to lengthen your arms slightly towards your heels. Okay, in this position, I'm going to start with pelvic tilts. So if those of us are new, we're not too sure what pelvic tilts are, I'm going to take you through it. Okay, when we're here, it's important that you know what is your neutral pelvis. So when I say neutral pelvis, it's where it's the best position of your pelvic plane. And if you turn to the back, it's actually your lower spine. All right, so that's quite important because a lot of us, you know, sometimes you start to feel lower back ache, okay, because the spine is taking the pressure from your neck, your upper back, everything going down to the lower back, okay? So we need to be quite aware of the pelvic plane. So I'm going to place my heels, the back of my palms on my hip bones and my fingertips walking towards my pubic bone. Okay, when I'm here, I hope the camera can catch it, okay? My triangular plane, my pelvis plane is actually parallel to the floor. Now I'm going to stay here because as you're here, you might feel a little gap under your lower spine, all right? So you know your spine has a little curve. So this is your neutral pelvic plane. And in this position, it's the best position to do all exercises. But again, I'm going to ask you to move the spine first, okay, just to warm up. So I'm just placing my hands on my hip bones and pubic bone. Keep my rib cage softened so I'm not arching my upper back. Inhale, we take a deep breath in through the nose. As we exhale, we are going to breathe out through the mouth, through our pursed lips, and I'm going to tilt my pubic bone higher than my hip bones. So I'm trying to crunch my spine down to the mat. Okay, inhale now, slowly return back to neutral. All right, exhale now. If you can see, I'm tilting my pubic bone higher than my hip bones, and I'm pressing down my spine into the mat. Okay, pulling my belly button in towards my spine. Inhale now, let's go back to neutral pelvis again. Let's do 3 more times. Exhale, breathing out through the mouth. When you do this action, try to think of pulling your belly button in slightly, engaging your abdominal muscles. Inhale now, let's go back to neutral. Last 2 here, exhale now, breathing out and press. Inhale now, slowly going back to neutral pelvis again. Last one here, exhale, breathing out, you initiate from your tailbone, you start to press the spine down into the mat. All right, inhale now, let's go back to your neutral pelvis. Very good. Now for all of us who are doing it, okay, it may be quite easy for some of us, but sometimes there's some clients that I have worked with before, they actually cannot get this movement in, all right? So you need to try to draw your awareness to your lower spine. Now we're going to place our hands on the floor. Now we're going to start to curl the whole spine up. So inhale, taking a deep breath here in my neutral pelvis. Exhale, now let's try to press the spine down, tuck your tailbone under and up, and now slowly start to bring the lower back up, middle, and all the way up until you're on your shoulder blades. Okay, my arms are still reaching nice and long, and I'm feeling my glutes are engaged, and I'm not arching my back this way, okay? So don't go into the excessive arch. All right, inhale, we stay here. Exhale, now maintain my glutes squeezing. I'm just going to start to roll the upper spine down, middle, and lower, and I'm going back through imprint and back to neutral. All right, let's do it one more time. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale now, breathing out through the mouth. I would like you all to imagine your spine and the different segments of your spine, all right? You want it to peel off from the mat, one vertebra at a time. Inhale now, we stay strong in this position. Exhale, now let's roll the spine down from upper, middle, lower, go back through imprint, and back to neutral. Now let's add in some more things here, all right? Inhale, we stay here. Exhale, now imprint the pelvis, start to peel the spine off, bone by bone. Now we're going to stay here, all right? Now why I'm doing this as a warm-up is because you're also starting to move the spine, but also most importantly, when you're here, you actually feel your lower back muscles working, okay? Lower and your glutes, so I'm actually starting to warm up the posterior chain muscles. Okay, now staying here, inhale. Let's bring the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, now slowly open the arms out to the side, arm circles. Try to not move your body, all right? Let's do 5 times here. Inhale. Exhale, circle the arms. As you can see, I'm actually not touching my hands on the floor, all right? Sometimes if you do that, you kind of like lose the control in your shoulder joint, right? Last 2 here. Be very mindful of the movement. Last one here, inhale. Exhale, circle. Now let's reverse. So open from the sides and up, warming out your shoulder joint. All right, 2. Make sure you're still squeezing your glute muscles. I'm starting to feel the work. 3. And 4. Whew. Try not to let your body move or sink down. Last one here, and 5. Hands up, and now slowly let's roll the spine down bone by bone. You can start to bring the arms down and relax. Okay, now let's activate our core more, all right? So I'm going to ask you to add on, and we're going to progress from here. Inhale, now stay in your neutral pelvis. Exhale, now imprint the pelvis and start to peel the spine off, bone by bone again. Okay, now I'm not moving my feet closer to each other because that will be easier, all right? I'd like you to try to engage your deep abdominal muscles, your deep back muscles as well. So try to prevent rotation in the body when you lift one leg up, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, so inhale, I'm going to stay here. Exhale, now try not to sway the body. Put one weight on your left palm and lift your left leg up to tabletop. I love this exercise to activate more of the hamstrings, all right? Inhale, lowering down. Exhale, now slowly peel my right heel off and bring my right leg up. Inhale, now toes down, then you bring the heels fully down. All right, let's go for 4 more. 3. So what's good about this exercise is we are focusing on stability. And when you do that, your deep muscles, your stability muscles, in the deepest layer of your muscle wall, okay, is really trying to prevent that rotation. Okay, last 2 here, so they're working hard. 5. You might not feel very balanced, but try to keep everything level, all right? Last one here, 6, and now lowering down. Okay, now let's try again. So we're going to bring our right leg up. Okay, I'm going to hold it there. Now extend my right leg long to the front. 1. Inhale, coming back in. Exhale, 2. Let's do 5 reps. And 3. Making sure your hips are not sinking. I caught mine sinking a little. 4. Try your best. All right, last one here, 5. Stay there for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now lower the heel down and relax. Okay, let's try the other side. So bring your left leg up. Push into your heel and lift your right hip up as much as you can. Inhale, extend your left leg out. Exhale, 1. And now extend 2. Return for 2. 3 more times. 3. Inhale to return. Last 2, 4. Inhale to return. Last one here, 5. Hold it there. Try to engage your right bum a little bit more, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring the heel down. And now make sure you're level before you initiate a roll down bone by bone. Whew. Okay, I'm feeling it because I exercised hard yesterday. Okay, let's hug our knees to chest and just gently roll it out. Whew. Okay, now we're going to bring you guys to lie down on your tummy. So let's sit up. Whew. I feel a little bit of my back muscles actually. Okay, let's get you to change your position Now we're going to get you down on the floor, okay? I love working in this position, okay, because I know my back muscles can get very weak after a long day of sitting, okay? So I'm going to start off with just getting you to activate the upper back muscles. So when I say upper back, that means you're not going to lift your legs off the mat, okay? If not, you're getting into your lower back. Okay, we want your legs to be relaxed, and you just want to think of lifting your chest up just a little, not too much, okay? If not, you're getting down to your mid and lower back again. So let's start off. Have your hands by the sides, okay? And I'm just going to have my nose resting on the mat. Legs are hip distance width apart. I'm not going to let my legs relax like it's sleeping. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and push my pelvis into the mat. Lengthen my legs. And starting from here, all right? So inhale, I'm going to lift my head off slightly off the mat. And I'm going to think of drawing my shoulders away from my ears as I start to lift my chest off a little. Okay, so now I'm still supporting myself on my hands. Exhale, now slowly breathe out, and bone by bone, you return back to starting position. Let's go again one more time. Inhale, head up. Shoulders away from ears. Think of lengthening your neck as you lift your upper chest off just a little. Inhale, stay. Exhale, slowly roll down to return. Let's do just 2 more times. Inhale, head up, shoulders down. So let me show you the shoulders down movement. All right, as you just lift a little. Exhale, now slowly breathing out and lowering down. Last one here. Inhale, head up, chest up. So I'm just lifting my upper chest off slightly while keeping my rib cage still on the floor. All right. Now, as you can see, I'm just in a slight spinal extension. Exhale, now slowly breathing out and lower down. Okay. Now I'm going to make it harder for you guys. So now we're going to place our palms just under our forehead. Okay. Now from here, inhale, I'm going to lift my elbows and my forearm off the mat. And now thinking of lifting the chest up to the same height we were going at. And exhale, now slowly lowering down to return. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, floating up. Not too high, all right? Exhale, now slowly lowering down. 3 more reps. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Try to keep your feet relaxed on the mat. Last 2 here. Inhale, lifting up just a little. Exhale and lowering down. Whew. Last one here. Inhale and we lift. Now we're going to stay here. Open your arms out to a T. All right, and now we bring it back to under your forehead. Inhale, open your hands up to a T. Exhale, and now return. Try not to lower your chest. 3 more times. 3, and back. 2 more. Open, and back in. Last one here. Open, and return. And now lower everything down to rest. Okay, you will feel not just the upper, okay? Some people feel it more in the middle, okay? So that's normal, that's perfectly normal. So now I'm going to let you feel more in your upper again, all right? So this time I'm going to have my hands just relaxed. Can you see that my shoulders are kind of draping forward? Okay, just watch me for 1 rep first. So I'm turning my head to just talk to you guys. Now I'm going to look back down to the mat. Okay, as you can see, my shoulders are really dropping forward and relaxing on the mat. So inhale, I'm going to pull my shoulders away from the mat and think of straightening my arms, lengthen it towards my heels while keeping my nose still on the mat. So now I'm already starting to activate the upper back muscles. All right? And from here, exhale, I start to lift off a little to where I ended off just now. Okay, now I feel my hands trembling a little because I'm working the muscles behind at where my shoulders are, right? Inhale, I stay here. Exhale, now slowly lower down and relax everything, like you're just falling asleep here. Okay, let's do 4 more. Inhale, shoulders open, arms lengthening towards your heels, and think of them stretching so far. And now exhale, start to float your chest up. Inhale, we stay here. And exhale, now lowering down
to relax. Okay, let's do 3 more times. Inhale, shoulders roll away, chest open, collarbone wide, arms super long. Exhale, now lifting up. Okay, inhale, we stay here. Exhale, now lowering down to relax. Last 2 here. Inhale, shoulders away. So across my upper back now is flat, right? Instead of curving forward. Now let's lifting up the chest. Inhale, we take a breath to stay here. Exhale, now lowering down to return. Last one here. Inhale, chest open, arms long. Exhale, lifting up. And we hold. Hold it there for 5, 4. I like to make you guys hold because you can feel more muscles are working. 3, 2, I'm counting slowly. And 1. And now slowly lower down. Oh, okay. So we're going to just stretch out a little bit first. Now we're going to work the glutes now, okay? So I'm still on the posterior muscles. So now I'm going to ask you to have your palms resting one on top of the other. And I'm just going to keep my head down like this the whole time, okay? I may occasionally turn to look at you guys, because when I do this, you're just looking at me like lying face down, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have your feet still wide open. Now I'd like you to bend your knees, and maybe this time open your knees a little bit wider so it's at the sides of the mat. Okay, now I am bring my legs with my heels together, toes apart. So I'm trying to dorsiflex my ankles. Can you see that? So I'm trying to open up like a little flower. And I'm squeezing my heels tight together. Now with this exercise, I'd like you to activate your inner thigh muscles, which is what you feel when you squeeze your heels really, really tight. But just make sure you're not lifting your hips up. Okay, you're still pushing your pelvic bone and your hip bones into the mat. Okay, so I'm squeezing my bums just a little. Now my head is going to rest down, so I'm not going to do anything with my upper body now. Okay, so squeezing your heels together. Now keep them really, really tight. So like I'm squeezing a piece of paper in between my heels. Now from here, relax the upper body. Inhale, I stay. Exhale, now I squeeze my heels and lift my knees and thighs off the mat. Okay, now working my glutes. Exhale, now lowering down to return. Let's go again for a few more. Inhale, lift, squeeze. If you press so hard, maybe your toes will also tremble. Okay, let's go for a few more. 3, and back, and 4, and return. Okay, a little bit more. 4 more, maybe 5, and down. Okay, and 6, and lower. Last 2 here, 7, and lower. Last one here, 8. Okay, we hold it there. Now I'd like you to straighten your legs out. Okay, while keeping your upper body down, and now bend in. Just 2 more times, and out. And now return. I feel my bum bumps. 3. And now return. Now lower the heels down, lower the knees down, and relax, straighten your legs. Okay, now let's combine the upper and lower to allow you to work more into your middle and lower back now, okay? Now my palms are just facing down on the mat, and now I'm just going to spread out my hands and legs. So inhale, I'm going to start to float everything up. Okay, we call this Superman. Exhale, lowering down to return. Let's go again, 4, 5 more, 2, and now lower. 3 more, and up, and lower. Last 2 here, 4, lower. Last one here, 5. I'd like you to hold it there. Okay? So make sure you squeeze your bums to lift your legs higher. Try to lift your upper chest off. Now we're going to lower the right hand down slightly and the left leg down slightly without touching the floor. And now we switch the other side. Okay, so now we're doing swimming. 2, and switch. 3, and switch. And 4, and switch. 5, switch. 6, 7, keeping your lower back stable. 8, Switching. Last two here, 9. Switch. Last one here, 10. And switch. Good. Now let's go back down and relax. Okay, let's quickly shell stretch. So push yourselves up. You're going to rest on your heels if you can. Okay, and try to round your back to stretch out all the back muscles you were working so hard earlier on. Okay, I feel a little bit of work now. Feel the muscles actually stretching out. Feels so good. Okay, take 2 deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale, breathing in. And exhale, breathing out. Now slowly stack the spine up from tail to head. And we return back to sitting tall. Okay, guys. Woo, I'm tired. Okay, although we're working the back muscles, I said we'll focus on the posterior chain. We're not going to forget the front, right? We need to create a balance. So now I'm going to get you guys to do some planks. Okay, are you ready? So starting off, let's have your palms on the floor and knees directly under your hips. So I know I revise this every week. Okay, let's do just 3-4 reps to see whether you guys remember. Okay, now from here, I'm maintaining a neutral pelvis, not overarching, not rounding my back, keeping them nice and level. Okay, now from here, I'm going to sink my chest down towards the floor and push myself away like I am rounding my upper back and allowing my shoulder blades to kind of open up. Let's go again 2 more times. Retract, protract. Okay, one more time, retraction. Go as low as you can without moving your middle lower spine. Exhale, now protract. And we are going to stay protracted. Okay, now tuck your toes under. And I'm going to adjust my hands slightly. Now let's try to go into our baby plank first. Okay, excellent way to work the core without crunching. Inhale, we stay here, shoulders protracted. Exhale, now put some weight into your toes, lift your knees off, and hold the baby plank. Okay, now you can hold as long as you want to. I'm just going to hold for 10 seconds. 10, shoulders protracting, keep pushing. 9, 8, 7, 6, still nice and easy. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now lower the knees down to relax. Okay, now we're going to get ready to move a little faster. Are you guys still with me? Okay, I'm walking forward. My hands are a bit slippery. Okay, so once you're ready, we're going to lift your knees off again. Walk one leg out and walk the other leg out. Okay, keeping my feet together. Now shoulders are still protracted. Now you can see my heels are trying to sink down like I'm stretching my back of my thighs. All right, now I'm going to lean forward. We call this leg pull front. And now let's drop the heels back. Stretching out my calves, my hamstrings. And I'm going forward. Okay, last 3 here. Heels down. Heels up. Last 2 here. Excellent way to train your wrist to get a bit stronger as well. Last one here. And now up. Okay, now holding here. Now let's lift one leg off. Left leg up first. Okay, inhale. Right heel down. Lift up the right heel. 2. Back. 3. Squeeze your bum to lift your left leg higher. Last 2 here. 4. Woo. Last one here. 5. Good. And now let's lower the left heel down. Okay, right leg up now. Let's go. 5 times. 2. We get a break after this, right? 3. 4. Last one here. 5. Good. And now lower down. Bend your knees. Sit back first. Be gentle on your wrist. And just shake your wrist out. My hands are slippery, so I need to stop for a while. Okay, now are we ready to move into a bigger range? Okay, so now stay with me. We're going to move fast. All right, so once you're ready, let's bring your feet up. We're going to hold the plank again. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, extend. Now we tuck to the side, and we extend. 2, round your back like you want to kiss your knee. Return. Now to the side, return. Last 2 here, knee to chest. Out, knee to side, return. Last one here, And extend from the side. And return. Good. Now let's try the other side. Okay? Right leg up. Knees to chest again. Lower your head down. Extend out. Knees to elbows on the side. Return. 2. Back. Side. And extend. Last 2 here. 3. Side. Return. Last one here. Knee to chest. Out. Side. And return. Okay, lower your legs down. Okay, my hands are feeling it already. So take a break. Now slowly roll up. Okay, we have just a little bit more time. So let's get this in quickly. Okay, so now I'm going to combine a little bit of leg circling movement with a little bit of like arabesque. Okay, let's do this nicely. Follow me, not too many reps. Walk out. Okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to put my hands on the mat. Okay, let's try this one. It's very slippery for me, okay? So I'm going to put my hands on the carpet, okay? Extend your legs out. Now let's bring your left leg up again. So from here, I'm going to draw a few circles. Try to keep my spine stable. Now from here, I'm going to shift back into what I call an arabesque. All right, coming back in, and 3. Obviously struggling with my palms being slippery. 1, and now arabesque. Last one here, and 3, 2, 1, and now hips up, legs up, push, and now return. Okay, lower your left down. Let's try the right. Okay, bring your right leg up. Circle 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and now pushing back. Woo. And now return back to plank. 3 leg circles. 1, and now pushing back up. Just praying I don't slip. Last one here. 3, 2, 1, and now let's bring that leg up, heels down, chest open, and now slowly lower that leg down. Bend your knees, and just relax. Shake your wrists out, gently press it down. Okay, I was struggling because I was slipping off my mat. I hope you guys don't have the same problem. All right, shake your wrists out. Okay, just gently stretch it out side to side. Just a little. Okay, I feel so good. I'm breaking into a little sweat. Okay, hope you guys are already warm. I'm going to pass the time over to Dawn, and she will lead you into the second segment. All right, stay with us.
I love how this rush gear makes me feel. Every time I put it on, I feel super powerful. My training is super intense, so I need something like this that's gonna make me feel strong and ready to go.
Starting in a standing position, so come join me, but remember that breathing is a very large component of what we do here, all right? So don't just focus on the superficial poses. I need you to use your breathing here to help engage the deep core muscles as well. While we're doing the harder movements, I need you to breathe this way with me. We inhale through the nose, we exhale, like you're trying to fog up a mirror, or you're trying to say HA, but your mouth is closed. When in doubt, breathe normally, better than shallow breathing, but do remember, in the harder movements, this is how we breathe. In is natural, out, focus more on trying to push the air out, but the mouth is closed. Let's come towards the front of your mat. We're going to start off in Warrior 1. So have your hands on your hips and try to keep the front and the back rim of your pelvic bowl more level. That means you have to use your baby crunching muscles, okay? We're going to have your toes spread open. So have your feet come together first. You're going to step your left leg back and flatten that foot. Having a closer distance between your feet makes the movement easier. Having a bigger distance makes it more challenging. All right, now go ahead and bend that front knee and keep that back leg straight. Turn the back toes in, and we're going to extend both arms towards the front, like you're trying to hug someone, right? Or you're trying to hug a tree. In doing this, you're going to engage your inner weight training belt a lot further and keep your shoulders relaxed while you're holding this pose as well. Focus on that breathing that I mentioned earlier also to switch on both inner and outer core muscles. Elbows are soft, so are your shoulders, so are your facial muscles. And then focus on your breathing. It's very easy for us to be distracted when we're just holding even stationary poses here. Little by little, practice by practice, it does get easier, and this awareness in engaging your inner core and your outer core in your faster paced movements becomes easier as well. Let's take just one more breath here in your Warrior 1 pose. And then very slowly, I want you to extend both arms out to the sides. We are still engaging the inner weight training belt. Lean forwards, drag the back foot in, and we're going to float that leg up off the ground. So here is your Warrior 3. The less movement you have in your trunk, in your inner weight training belt, the easier it becomes for your standing leg to try to hold you up here. So minimize the movement by engaging all those muscles that support you around the waist. You will be feeling that stretch along the back of your standing leg. You'll be feeling the work happen on those same muscles as well. So they are stretching, they are working. Generally, you want to hold it for about 8 breaths in each of these movements that we're doing here, the stationary movements that we are doing here. Hold an imaginary pencil between your shoulder blades to avoid rounding your back. We're just going to take one more deep full breath here in Warrior 3, using that breath that I mentioned earlier, and very slowly land that back foot down once again. But this time, we're going to stay on tiptoe. So go ahead and have your heels over your toes and keep that front knee bent once again. Remember the pelvic bowl? If this was a fish bowl filled to the brim, I'd like you to not spill a drop to the front, all right? So keep the front and the back rim level. As you sink your hips down, keep the front knee bent, back leg is extended. Option 1, which is easier, you can go ahead and lower your back knee down, right? And that helps for those who are feeling a little tired. Now, very slowly start to extend both arms up first. So think about lifting your ribs away from your hips. And now your right arm reaches back. Now my right leg is in front, right? So I'm going to reach my right arm back. I'm going to add a bit of a twist here, reaching for the back of my thigh or my knee. If I can go lower, great. Cannot, never mind. All right, so if you need to, like I mentioned earlier, keep your back knee down towards the ground. It helps to take away the worry about losing your balance. Okay, I'm going to hold it here for just 3 more breaths. What I feel is a stretch to the front of my left hip. I feel the muscles in my legs working. And I feel like I'm taking a deeper breath to the bigger lung lobes around my ribs with the extended arm as well. There's a bit of a twist here also. Okay, now we're going to slowly return back to the front, and we're going to come flatten that back foot for your Warrior 2 variation. All right, so I'm going to keep my front knee bent. The right knee is bent. The back leg is straight. But I'm going to turn the toes in on purpose. Right? Try your best to keep the toes cutting in with an edge. All right, extend your arms out, and we're going to take both arms to lift up now. So keep both sides of your neck soft. Try not to tense up unnecessarily. From here, we're going to engage your inner weight training belt once more. We're going to lean the torso forwards. Like I said, I want to work on the core a lot more for the poses today. So this makes it very challenging for those who are not switching on your buttocks, your hips, your back, your thighs to do this movement. If you need to, just come down a little bit, right? You don't have to come as low. So what I'm doing is I'm shifting my hips back and I'm leaning my torso forwards. I feel my buttock muscles working very hard on that bent leg side. I have to use my abdominal muscles and my back to try to keep my back flat, right? To keep the spine straightened out. And using my arms as long levers here makes the movement more challenging as well. Holding it there for just 2 more breaths. I'm strongly pressing down onto both legs also. Last one. All right, and very slowly come back up. We're going to step towards the front of your mat. Feet coming in together. We're going to have your big toes come together to touch. Now remember, your abs, your back, your hips, your buttocks, your thighs, these together form your core muscles. I like you to try to use them together. And in this next movement, squeeze the inner thighs towards the center. So engage the inner thighs a lot more in this movement here, while your big toes are touching. Avoid doing that Charlie Chaplin kind of a movement here, right? So feet together. We're going to take a seat back and down. Arms extend. If you can, raise them up a little bit higher. This is already challenging for some, right? So if you need to, just stay here. You can even have your hands come forwards at shoulder height, right? So just see what your shoulders allow you to do. From here, I'd like you to lift your heels off the ground. So if your legs start to shake, great, okay? Find your focal point. You are balancing out here, okay? So anytime you need to, go ahead and lower your heels down. It's okay. We're gonna stay here for another 3 more deep breaths. Keep your neck long, shoulders relaxed. 2, squeeze your thighs towards the midline. 1 more breath here. Work that breathing, okay, to switch on the inner core. And slowly lower the heels down and come back up to stand. We repeat everything on the other side. I'm going to turn this way so that I can still face you. So let's have your feet come towards the front of the mat once again. Right leg steps back. Left foot stays in front. We come into your warrior 1, hug a tree. Arms extending out towards the front. Back foot is flat, right? So plant your back heel down towards the ground. The toes do turn out, kind of like you're trying to point at about 2 o'clock on a clock, right? So toes in front, try to relax as well. I'm still using my baby crunching muscles. I'm breathing in a way that helps me to engage my deep core muscles as well. Holding it out here for just 2 more breaths. And 1. And then we come into warrior 3. So take your arms out to the sides, lean forwards, drag your back leg in, and then we float the back leg up. Holding it out here, remember, balancing a tray of tea on your back, you want to hold that imaginary pencil in between your shoulder blades as well. Raise that back leg up high. If you need to, you can always have that big toe come down towards the ground, okay? So try and stay up for as long as you can without holding your breath, right? Push into the floor with this standing leg, so it helps to make sure that the muscles that support around the joints will stay engaged. We're going to plant the back foot down now, coming into your high lunge. All right, so I'm going to have my back foot stay on tiptoe. I'm going to extend both arms up first, thinking about elongating my spine or lifting my ribs away from the hips. If I need to, back knee goes down to the ground, okay? That's an option. All right, if you're ready, take your left arm back, trying to reach for your back knee or back of the thigh. All right, so just see what your body allows you to do at this point and holding it there. I'm not going to hold for the whole 8 breaths, all right? But on your own, if you'd like to, stay for about 8 breaths, okay? So that makes the muscles do start to shiver for those who are just starting out, okay? Hold it for another 2 more. 1 more, and you'll feel all the little muscles around the lower leg and your feet working very hard as well. All right, slowly coming back to face the front. I'm going to keep that left knee bent. I'm going to keep that right leg straight, but turn the toes in, okay? Arms are extending out. Focus on your breathing. Avoid shallow breathing here, all right? Arms extending up now. We're going to start to shift the hips back and the arms and the torso forwards. Now, avoid just dropping your arms towards the ground or rounding your back. I'd like you to focus on keeping your arms next to your face, next to your ears, while your inner weight training belt is still engaged, right? So shift the hips back as you extend your arms in the opposite direction. Let's hold it here for just 2 more breaths. 1 more. And then very slowly coming back up. Let's step forwards to the front of your mat to finish off your second round of chair pose. Feet come together once again. Big toes touch. Take a seat back and down with your hips, arms extending out. Lift your heels away from the ground. Of course, option 1, you just keep your feet down flat on the mat, right? If you can, float them up, and let's stay here for another 3 deep breaths. Squeeze your knees towards the center. Use your inner thighs here a lot, right? So they will help you to balance a lot better if you're doing that. Last one. Okay, and then plant your heels back down towards the ground. Come up to a stand. We're going to come towards your grounded poses right now, but remember, we are still working on the core. So for those of you who have delicate tailbones, you need more padding for your tailbone because sitting back this way just makes it very painful for you. Have an extra towel folded up and placed under your hips, right? We're going to come into your bear pose first, right? So stay here and watch. When you're on all fours, you're going to come onto hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Have the towel handy under your knees for this one. The next one, we will actually be using it under the buttocks, right? So spread the fingers open. Now you're going to tuck your toes and lift your knees away from the ground. And that's it, okay? But we hold it here for 8 breaths. So while you're here, the knees don't go too high. The moment they go up too high, almost to a down dog, you're going to feel the work just dissipate from the front of your thighs. I want you to feel the work happening around the front of the thighs, the abdominals, especially the lower portion of your abdominals. You're going to feel it around the shoulders, the arms, and this is a bone loading exercise here. These are important kinds of movements for us to do, especially for those who are concerned about osteoporosis and just losing your bone density, right? Do these kind of bone loading exercises and remind your parents as well to try and do them often, right? There's no impact, but it does help to create some bone loading movements that every one of us needs. And very slowly, lower your knees down towards the ground. Now we come into one arm with a plank, all right? So right hand is going to come in towards the center. I'm going to step my left leg back. Right hand to the center, left leg back, because I'm going to turn towards my left side. My right hand stays here. Now option 1, you guys continue to have your right leg at the bottom. Option 2, I like that bottom leg to extend out as well. And then we hold it here for another 4 more breaths. If you need to, you change your mind. Bottom knee just comes back down towards the ground, okay? 2 more. And you notice that I'm not sinking my hips down at this point. This is also bone loading, but now all the weight goes to just one hand instead of both, all right, for the upper body. All right, lower the bottom knee down, and let's do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to face you, so I'm just going to go on to the other side. All right, so if you back onto all fours, you're going to take your right leg back, you're going to take your left hand to the center, and then just turn towards your right side. The bottom leg, I shifted my foot backwards as well. Option 1, you stay here. Option 2, bottom leg, you're going to extend it away from you as well. Holding it out there for another 3 deep breaths. So press strongly into both feet that are on the ground, on the inside and the outside edge of both feet. Instead of just letting your weight sag down, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Hold it there for just 1 more breath. And then very slowly, we come down. So if you have your towel there, you're seated on it, right? Make sure that your tailbone doesn't feel uncomfortable. We're going to place our hands behind our thighs. We're going to lean back, and we're going to lift one leg up at a time. Now, beginners or option 1, you guys just stay here, but I don't want you to turn this into an arm exercise. If you can have less help from your hands and more work happening around your abdominal region, your legs, go ahead. Have just the fingertips resting behind the thighs. And if you can do without your arms holding your thighs, better still. And if you can straighten both legs out, better still. All right, let's stay here for another 3 more breaths, okay? Look towards your toes. Avoid rounding your back here. Extend your legs as far out into space as you can. Last 1 breath here. Inhale through the nose and exhale, and then go ahead. Lower both legs down towards the ground. We're going to do that just 1 more time, okay? So oftentimes I make people do for like a few rounds, okay? But we're going to try that once more, right? So go ahead and place your hands behind your thighs once again, leaning it back, lifting 1 leg up and the other leg up. If you need to, keep your hands behind your thighs, all right? But don't depend too much on the arms, all right? When you're ready, we're going to extend both arms out. And when you're ready, we're going to extend both legs out. And let's hold it out there for another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and lower your legs down towards the ground. Now we're going to have just your right leg staying bent in front. We're going to have your left leg sweeping back. This is one of my favorite poses to do, because when I first start off in an upright position here with your pigeon, we're going to be feeling that stretch across the front of the hip, which we all need to undo the damage or to undo the effects of sitting down, folding at the hips for so many hours every day, right? So it does help to improve circulation around the pelvic bowl. But we're going to make this an active one first before I make it a passive one. So active pigeon, we're going to have your wings open out to the sides. Now watch, for those of you who cannot have your heel move a little further away from you, that's fine. As long as you feel a stretch to the outside of your right hip, you are okay, all right? So some of us will have the heel very close towards us, and some will have it a little further out. Either way, you should never feel pain or discomfort around your knee joint or your hip joint, all right? Let's spread those pigeon wings once again. Now as you exhale, I'd like you to lower your chest closer towards the ground, and then inhale, bring it back up. This is active, and we're working on the muscles on your back here, all right? As you exhale, you lower. As you inhale, come back up. Let's do 3 more here, right? So we'll do 5 on each side, and lift. Let the chest lead the way, not the head, okay? So do not just drop your head on the way down. 1 more time here. So it's not your arms that are doing the work, it is your core muscles, right? Now we go for the passive pigeon. Let's bring both arms down towards the ground, forearms resting. And if this is as low as you can go, you feel a very intense stretch on the outside of your right hip, you just stay here. It's okay. And if you're all right to go further, you just lay down on your chest, on the ground. Maybe rest your forehead onto your hands, and that's fine, all right? Just see what works best for you, all right? And then we're going to hold it there for just another 2 more breaths. On your own, this is something that I would recommend those of you who suffer from sciatica or pain, numbness, tingling sensation anywhere along the back of your hips, maybe even from your lower back, the back of your hips, outside of your thighs, outside of your hips. Stay here for about a minute or 2, all right? Now we're going to slowly come back up, and we're going to change. So take your back leg